Hi there, lovely listeners. My name is Mandy Kay, and I want to tell you all about my new show, Spoken, a story podcast. Stay tuned at the very end for a sneak peek at one of the Season 1 episodes. I really love to read. I used to read several hundred books every year. I devoured them as if my life depended on it. But then life kind of got in the way. I grew up, I got a full-time job, and I found other hobbies like podcasting. But I do still get to listen to audiobooks every day. My commute is over an hour each way, which means that's over 2 hours a day that I can listen to the words of someone else. But sometimes you just don't want to listen to an 8-hour audiobook. Or, if you're like me and love Outlander, a 60-hour audiobook. When I lived 3 miles from work, it would take me 6 months to finish an Outlander audiobook. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I thought it would be a really great idea to highlight some shorter written works in an audio format. I'm not quite talking about flash fiction, which is typically less than 1,000 words, and I'm not quite talking about short stories either. I'm talking about that sweet spot between 1,500 and 5,000 words, stories and essays that I can read aloud to you in under 30 to 40 minutes. Some of them will even be as short as 10 to 15 minutes. These are all going to be works that deserve to be noticed, but that we also have time to listen to in the hectic chaos of the day. So that's what this podcast is going to be all about. Each week, I'm going to pick a short fiction or nonfiction piece and read it to you. And because I love to read all kinds of genres, you're going to get all kinds of genres read to you. I've already received fantasy, sci-fi, memoir, and just snapshots into the life of a character. I'm really excited to share these stories with you, and I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. The show will go live on July 13th. Season 1 will have 10 episodes dropping on Friday of each week. If you're a writer who wants to have their work read on the show, please visit tiny.cc/spokenstory to find out how to submit to us. We're looking for previously unpublished or self-published short fiction and nonfiction works between 1,500 and 5,000 words. We accept all genres and content types, and explicit content and length exceptions will be considered on a case-by-case basis. So what are you waiting for? Submit your story now. I'm Mandy Kay, and this is Spoken, a story podcast. And here's a bonus. Here's an excerpt from one of the stories that you're going to hear in Season 1, Once a Wizard, Always a Wizard, by C.H. Schwartz. It always seems to come back to wizards. The magic's still fresh in the earth up here, and so we get wizards by the cartload. I don't particularly mind them, as long as they don't light any of my patrons, or more importantly, my tables, on fire. It's a good thing, too, since I'm going to keep seeing them until they use all the magic up. Doesn't make sense to hold prejudice against such a large portion of my clientele. But sometimes you see something weird enough that it makes you question the whole magic thing in general. I remember it was late winter when it happened, because everyone kept tracking in snow and soaking the floors. The floors do a good enough job of soaking themselves with spilled booze, but people don't really think about adding a layer of shit for me to clean up. Anyway, Ergen had just come in, bringing a blast of cold air behind him as he stomped his boots. Ergen was a well-built man, as tall and wide as the shithouse out back, and he was well known in town as a hunter of monsters. He was also well known for telling tales. Once, he claimed to have arm-wrestled a Yeti and won. Now, I've not met a great many Yetis, but I can tell you that arm wrestling them is a great way to get yours pulled from its socket. What I'm trying to say is that he was full of shit on a regular night, and this wasn't a regular night.